Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, February 18th, and this is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. So the first big news this week was that Google penalized a couple companies. The first was JCPenney. Basically, the New York Times did a big article on how JCPenney were doing various things like link buying and stuff like that in order to rank incredibly well during the holiday seasons and up till pretty much a week ago for very, very profitable keywords from dresses, home decor, skinny jeans, furniture, anything, and they ranked in the top like one or two results for the past several months or so. New York Times did a big article called "The Dirty Little Secrets of Search." Basically uncovered them. They did all these interviews with Matt Cutts and Google and different SEOs out there. They actually interviewed me as well. And basically, the New York Times helped Google uncover one of these link schemes by JCPenney. Obviously, JCPenney is a huge retailer, and they wanted to pretty much make a point and say even huge retailers will get penalized if they go ahead and break our Google guidelines. And that's what happened. Google penalized JCPenney. They rank into like the 60s or 70s now for all their keywords, and JCPenney basically fired the SEO company that was responsible for it. They claim no wrongdoings. They're getting rid of the pay links, and they will fix things and submit a reconsideration request. We have more information about this on February 14th at seroundtable.com. Then we move into Forbes, which also got a public PageRank penalty only because their SEO went ahead and publicly posted in a Google forum saying why did I get a Google warning for selling links when we're not selling links. Basically, Dennis Pinsky, the digital marketing manager of Forbes.com, I believe he's fairly new at the company, went ahead and posted a Google Webmaster Help forum, basically saying that they got an email from Google saying they have unnatural links on their site and they're selling links. But he couldn't find out where it was, and it took a while. I couldn't find it, but Michael Arrington at TechCrunch actually was tracking the site for a while, and he spotted the paid links on a old version of their website, which was still live. Forbes then came in and wrote a blog post saying this was a result of a migration of the site to a new site. And what happened was when they migrated to the new site, some of the old pages were activated with the old links from a couple years ago, the original PageRank penalty back in 2007. And those pages came up and obviously resulted in a PageRank penalty. And if people listening live say it's only a monotone, I don't know how to fix that. Mono, I don't know how to fix that. I have a microphone here. Anyway, so basically what we had here is old pages going up, resulting in a PageRank penalty or a type of penalty from Google. And Forbes fixed it and they apologized for it. And I think life goes on. We have a post about this on February 16th at seroundtable.com. What this led to, which I posted about this morning, which is probably why a lot of people are tuning in now, well, not so many, but as normal. But basically, what that led to is a bunch of people calling out my site, Search Engine Roundtable, for selling links. So I had to do this long post. I did it today, this morning, February 18th, about why we continue to sell links that are not no-followed. I know it's against Google's guidelines. It's not illegal. It's against Google's guidelines. And I go through the history of why we went ahead and we do this. We've basically been having sponsors on our website, text sponsors on our website. We have sponsors in two forms, banner ads as well as text ads. We've had that layout since 2004 in terms of banner ads and text ads. And then in 2007, Google went ahead and warned all people who have text ads on their site, if they do pass PageRank, those text ads, Google will penalize you. That happened back in November 2007. We were penalized along with lots of other sites. Initially, it was just a visual PageRank problem, but then it came into where we saw a decrease in traffic from Google, and we're okay with that. But basically, we never removed those paid links. I have a lot of reasons why I haven't, but I haven't done it even though we're breaking Google's guidelines, even though we see a drop in PageRank, and even though I see a drop in traffic from Google. We still have those paid links there. And I totally accept why Google has to do this. Google has no choice. I believe it's a smart move. Google has to basically go ahead and protect their search quality of their index by penalizing sites that are trying to sell links to those who want to go ahead and influence Google search rankings. So they have no choice. They have to go ahead and do something in order to protect their index, and this is the right move from Google. At the same time, I'm a stubborn, person. I'm stupid, and I basically won't change. I will leave my links there because I had it that way since 2004. 4 years before Google, 3 years before Google went ahead and actually instituted their guidelines for paid links. We always label them as sponsor links. Humans could see them as sponsor links. Prior, Google was okay with that. And then in 2007, they said you have to slap on a no follow or no index them or make sure Google can't see them and make sure Google can't pass PageRank from them. So we didn't do that because I'm stubborn, and we were slapping penalties and penalties and penalties. Thankfully, we have a strong support from people like you who are watching and people who read the site every single day, so we don't have a problem in terms of traffic. But at the same time, I'm probably missing out on a ton of Google traffic because of it. But like I said, I'm stubborn and I'm stupid, and this is the way it is for now. Doesn't mean I'll never get rid of them, but at this point, for the past 3+ years, this is the way it will be. It was like that for the past 7 years or so. So that's the way it's going to stay for now, and we'll see if I change things. But at this time, this is the way it is. So I understand people trying to call me out for selling links, even though I called out Forbes and JCPenney. But that's what I do. I write about stories that are in the forums. I bring it to people like you as attention because you don't have time for the forums. And that's where we get our traffic from, for people who want to learn about what's going on in the forums and they don't have time for it. Same time, we don't rank as well on Google, and that's a choice that I've made. And for now, that's the way it's going to stay. And it really has nothing to do with paying the bills. It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to do with paying the bills. This blog really cost me probably more money than you can imagine. And thankfully, I'm in a position where I don't need to pay the bills using this, thankfully. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Talked enough about that because I got to speed up and get this thing done. The next topic is Bing. Bing has launched their personalized search feature. It was launched about a week ago. And basically, the level of personalization has nothing to do with Facebook. All it has to do with is location and previous search. So Bing is now looking at your location when you're searching, and if you search for pizza or something with local intent, Bing will actually show you localized results, automatically shifting the search results around, which is a major change for Bing, and I'm happy they're doing it. 2 is using previous search history. So if you search for something like if you search for something like travel-related keywords, and then you search for JFK, it will probably think you're looking for the airport and not the president. So that's something to keep in mind. We have a post about this on February 17th at SEO.com. Talking about personalized search, Google has relaunched their social search feature. Not launched to everybody yet, but it will be out very soon. And basically what this means is that Google is enhancing the way the social search results work. Basically, what happened before when you did a search and you were part of the social search experiment was that the social search results would show up at the bottom in a little box by itself, basically showing you what your friends have searched for or what their friends are sharing on Twitter and different social networks like Google Reader or whatever it might be. Now Google has incorporated those social search results right in the mix of the search results. So you don't have to see it at the bottom, it's right in the search results. It actually shows comments as well from people sharing stuff in social search. And it also gives you more controls in terms of what you can share privately and publicly. So definitely take a look at that. February 18th. Gypsy said basically that you still need better network content management. Yeah, they have improved it a little bit, but there's obviously a lot more where to go, and obviously Google also wants to include Facebook as well in that, and they haven't at this point because obviously Facebook's not big fans with them. We'll see if Bing gets to that first. That would be interesting because Bing's doing some levels of that in terms of testing, but not majorly. Anyway. Yeah, so Harry basically says in the chat room, a handy way to see what Google thinks your connections are is to go to google.com/s2/u/0/search/social. Again, you probably learned that by just asking Harry over yourself. Anyway, moving on. Google has, Matt Cutts from Google actually described how Google penalties work. There's 2 types of penalties. There's the manual penalty and the algorithmic penalty. A manual penalty is basically when a Google webmaster analyst goes ahead and finds a site that's doing something they shouldn't be doing, they will then go ahead and slap on a penalty, usually stuff for like, like not necessarily hidden text, but like things like I guess pay links and stuff like that. They'll slap on a hidden penalty, and that penalty will be instituted and it'll stay on until either you submit a reconsideration request, and the first one obviously you remove what you're doing against the guidelines, and two is you submit a reconsideration request, or Google has a timeout period where they'll actually say within X months or years they'll go ahead and remove the penalty unless the pages still have an issue. And also the algorithmic penalties are more automated. So as soon as Google recrawls your site and sees that you have fixed the issue with your site in terms of breaking Google's guidelines, Google will then go ahead and remove the penalty automatically. We have more about this with a video from Matt Cutts on February 16th at SERoundtable.com. For the first time ever, Google is actually admitting to, basically saying they're going to allow user feedback in terms of ranking signals. So by user feedback, it is Google announced that they released a new Chrome extension named Personal Block List. Personal Block List is a way for you to go through the Google search results in Chrome only right now and basically say, I don't like this result, I don't like this result, I'm blocking that result. And as you block these results, Google will take that feedback and maybe use that towards a ranking signal. They're not saying they're definitely using it, they're saying they might consider using it. Google removing results and blocking results from Google search results are not anything new. They've been testing it back since 2004 and past that, and basically Google had features like this in the past, and Google said they never used people who block results in the past to towards ranking signals, but now Google says they are going to go ahead and look at this in terms of a signal for improving the quality of the search results. So definitely take a look at that, February 15th at SERoundtable.com. Google is planning tighter integration between Google Web Analytics, Webmaster Tools, and Google Analytics. Last week I talked about how they had added a basic link between Google Webmaster Tools and Analytics, where you could actually click from Webmaster Tools to a specific report on Google Analytics, and I thought that was the end of it. Google actually admitted that they're actually taking feedback in terms from webmasters saying, what would you like to see next in terms of the integration between Google Webmaster Tools and Analytics, which is a great thing for webmasters and SEOs. You definitely want to take a look at this and provide your feedback to Google. More links and information on how to do that February 18th at SERoundtable.com. In terms of Google UIs, or user interface, Google has relaunched their top bar. Google has relaunched their top bar, a new navigation bar. Now it has, I'll bring up my screen so you guys can see it. Now it has this little, bring up Google. Now it has basically a little gears icon on the top right. You can probably see it over here. Make my screen bigger for you guys to see. You can see it up here, a little gears. You click on it, shows you your search settings. You can access your search settings, iGoogle, account history, privacy, and web history, as well as clicking your name to log out. And that feature was being tested by Google for a really long time now and has finally been launched. So it's nice to see that come out. I personally like it. It's a little more tight, a little more concise, and a little more graphical. Google's been testing this for a while, but it's finally now live. So definitely take a look at that if you want as well. A quick thing, we did a post about how new websites are doing one-page websites that's pretty much scroll. So you scroll, and just get new content that way. I linked to NikeBetterWorld.com, which is doing a pretty cool effect of that. It's called the parallax effect. It's very cool. You should definitely take a look at that. The problem is it's not so search engine friendly. Obviously, you can use forms of Ajax commands and CSS to actually make it more search engine friendly, but definitely don't recommend it. It's pretty neat. You definitely want to take a look at that. February 16th at SERoundtable.com. Moving on, for some reason there was some type of Google search hack, or not hack per se, with a search result for Napohelbeljanis. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'll paste this in the chat room for people to see. And basically, the Cindy Moore-Held covered it a couple days ago. And basically, you saw Google Insights showing up spike in search results for that. Most of those results came from the UK. We had a little video showing the increase in terms of the searches done over the countries. Personally, what I think is going on is we saw a lot of people saying that they saw these search results show up in their web history. Google Web History has been known to have people complain that these search results have been showing up, that search results have been showing up in people's web history that they haven't done searches for. At least they haven't knowingly done search results for. I'm sure a lot of people leave their Google page logged in and people access their search and just searches on behalf of those people. But at the same time, there are people who are admitting that they've never done anything like that, and they're seeing search results that are not theirs in the search results, such as this specific query. What I suspect is happening is that that somebody out there, some SEOs out there, have some type of malware or Trojan out there that are taking over people's search computers and doing these types of searches on people's on people's Google login, which then influence Google Insights, obviously, and Google's hot trends. But more importantly, it probably influences the Google Suggest and Google Instant results. So that's probably what's going on here. Google won't admit to it, but that's what I think that's going on here. Unless I'm not the only one who thinks this. I think Frank Watson also believes that this is happening as well. So definitely take a look at that if you are worried about it. Gotta hurry up here. A couple more topics. Why can't Google fix the place responses? Basically, Google announced back in August they allow Google Place owners to respond to reviews left in their Google Place profiles. For many, many months, Google has been having issues and complaints about it. It hasn't worked. Google fixed it at least twice. Google said a week ago that they fixed it again. They have not fixed it according to these results. So if you're still having issues, let Google know so they know how to fix it. We have posted about this on February 18th at SEOroundtable.com. SEOs are now also talking about IPv6, the next protocol for IP addresses. It gives you a lot more IP addresses. It's been talked about a lot. SEOs are concerned about how they should address it. We have a post about this on February 17th. Again, don't worry about it right now, but you definitely want to take a look at this in the upcoming days and months and years to see how this might affect you in the future. Another example of an SEO company bad-mouthed in a forum. What happens next pretty much is interesting. So basically, remember we did a discussion back a month ago how an SEO company was being bad-mouthed in a forum, and then the SEO company itself came in there acting like they're clients or whatever and defended the SEO company. Google then called them out for being part of that company and made them look really bad because they were lying in the forum. What's happening again here is that it appears that the same thing is happening for a different company where they had a bunch of people come in right back to back to back basically defending this company after there was a lot of bad rumors and stuff going on about this company. Then John Moo of Google said basically come clean because you're not telling us something, and the guy never came through clean. Then we had some threats from lawyers in the forum saying you better not talk about this company because people are going to be sued or whatever. And then John Moo again came out and said, better fess up because it's better that you tell us what's going on before somebody else tells everybody else what's going on, meaning that Google knows something about this company. It goes on. It's a pretty fun saga. You have to take a look at this. He wrote a book. It's just hilarious. So February 16th at SEOroundtable.com. You definitely want to take a look at that. Finally, just go quickly through the Google logos. We have 3 of them to show you. And then we're done. There was the Google Mexico Color TV type of logo. It was very neat, very cool. You could take a look at that as well, February 17th. Or go to Google SEOroundtable.com/photos. There was the Google Ernest Shackleton UK logo, which was pretty neat as well. And there was the Valentine's Day logos. Google had a love stamp symbolization, which was nice. Yahoo had a logo. YouTube, Bing, Ask.com, created a site for them, and also we had our own logo as well. So thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Thanks everybody for supporting me today, and hopefully we can see you guys next week. Again, thanks so much, and have a great weekend. Bye.